Do you ever wonder when you see grown children, what was behind the scenes of the mom that raised them? You know, the families where everyone turns out to be pretty successful and has great marriages and are themselves raising some pretty kind humans. I love really studying moms that I feel have done it well. And today's episode is going to be all about a mom who I had an inside look into for 46 years. And that's my own mom. Mama, this episode is for you. Welcome to For His Glory CEO, the podcast for high-achieving women like you who have built the business, hit the milestone, checked all the boxes, yet deep down something still feels off. The success is there, but you know God has so much more. I'm your host, Allie. If you're hungry for results rooted in the Word, this is for you. Let's get this party started. I love honoring people. I truly believe you should honor people up, down, and all around the town. I love when we have birthdays. We always do an honor circle. I highly suggest you don't wait till someone passes on from this life to the next to let them know how much you love, honor, and appreciate them. I think any opportunity you have, take your shot. So that's what I'm doing on this episode today. I actually have a book here. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see it. Friends, that is my precious little mama. Yep, her in all of her glory with her dad. And this is something that I believe is a huge gift to all of our children. So her children, I'm one of 4, so it's 3 sons and a daughter, me. And then all of her grandchildren, she has 12. And the reason I say that, it's called Storyworth. I'm not, representative or an affiliate for them. But my brother gave this to my parents in 2020 and asked for them to write out their entire story. So it's called Mary Catherine Barris Stories of My Life. But it starts out with her mom and dad, the neighborhood she grew up in, childhood vacations, her childhood bedroom, the rec room, her childhood toys, grade school, teenage, cars, siblings, first job, after college, where she traveled, and then each and every one of our kids, her favorite vacations, her best advice on raising children. I'm going to read that. Her faith, a woman of influence in my life. She's simply the best. The year of 2020, our golden wedding anniversary. You guys, my parents are coming up on, I think, 55 years married. Wild and amazing. Golden anniversary toast to my dad. And pearls of wisdom on how to live your best life. Okay, mamas, if you're listening right now, and especially all you grandmamas, I highly recommend, there's so many different things, but this one itself is called Storyworth, capturing this for your legacy. I can't tell you how excited my mom was to give this to us, but how more excited I am that I have it right next to my desk. And how today, on today's podcast, I got really casual, and a linen. And these are the jeans. My mom bought me these adorable wide leg Paige jeans for my retreat. Mama, I probably have more things on that she's given me because my mom, I gotta laugh about these Paige jeans. So my mom and I were getting ready for my inner circle retreat. No joke. And you guys, this happens all the time. My mom is 79 years young. I am 46 years old. We literally come out of the Nordstrom dressing room in the same white blazer and the same navy blue blouse with hearts. I should probably have been wearing that right now. I look at her, I'm like, are you serious? She's like, are you serious? And then I tried on a dress. She's like, do you have that dress in my size too? I mean, I'll literally pick her up from the airport and we'll be in the same Ray-Bans. Pick her up from the airport the next time, we have the same Hoka shoes. Pick her up the next time, we're in the same exact jean jacket. Friends, I mean, I love it. I absolutely do love it. And that just says that she's stylish and we know each other and we like the same things. But here's the funny thing for all of you athletic body women, I never fit my mom's clothes. I don't know how I skipped over size 0 and size 2. I'm like, I don't think there was a day in my life where I was a size 0, size 2. So I've never fit, or extra small. I've never fit in my mama's stuff, which is too funny because now my own 11-year-old is shopping in my closet. And she's probably about to be taller than me. And then I have my other girl, Anna. I don't know that she'll ever wear my stuff, which is actually, that's not true. She does wear my coats on church. Anyway, I digress. This episode is for you, Mom, and I want to get into it. Friends, I want to share something that I've actually never shared before, but it's been so transformational for multiple 6- and 7-figure businesswomen that I would be remiss not to share it with you. So I want you to picture this. You're in a room with 10 other women who are running payroll, running teams, making heavy, high-stake decisions, and managing everything. And imagine you bringing your question or your bottleneck to that group of women. Do you think that you can handle things which used to maybe take you months, maybe years, in the next 10 minutes? What I found is a lot of us playing at this field, we don't struggle with lack of strategy, motivation, even discipline. We struggle with not having a sounding board in real time with ideal clients and women who truly get the level we're playing at. And that's why I created the Inner Circle for multiple 6- and 7-figure women to play in. It is the community of communities that offers transformations like I've never seen before. And you know what the number one receipt is? We had 100% retention of those clients from 2025 rejoin us for 2026. It's a private, exclusive group and extremely selective as well. But if this sounds like this is exactly what you need, grab the Inner Circle application in the show notes and we'll let you know if you're a great fit. All right, back to the show. So I do want to read one chapter from this book because I think it is so awesome to hear it in her words. It says, "My best advice on raising children. Since I grew up in a large family and raised 4 children of my own, I do have some advice on how to raise them. I'm so glad you asked. First of all, realize children are a gift from God on loan to you. They are made in His image and deserve to be loved for who they are, not what they do. My worth and Dad's was based on our performance, not our character. As children, we don't remember hearing we were loved and very little affection was shown. Our parents were strict, which led to my rebellion as a teen. It was their way or the highway, with little conversation or reasoning. They believed one size fits all. When it came to discipline, and now I know that is not true. I'm glad I have this opportunity to give you my best advice on raising children. It's the hardest, but the most rewarding job you will ever do. If you do it right, and by the grace of God, you will have the feeling of tremendous satisfaction when your adult kids are living productive, high-functioning, Christ-centered lives." Dr. James Dotson had a program called Focus on the Family in the 70s and 80s, which had a big influence on my parenting skills. He emphasized Christian values in the home and wrote many books that are still in print, which practically today, such as The Strong-Willed Child, Dare to Discipline, Building Confidence in Your Child, Bringing Up Girls, and Bringing Up Boys. I also read many other books on child raising and attended many lectures at your grade school. So here's a summary from my experience with you and your siblings. Try to balance rules with love because too many rules or strictness frustrates kids and may lead to rebellion. Too much love or bribes with gifts spoils them. Punishment is needed sometimes to drive a message home. My mom used a wooden spoon on our butt, and I used that method too when you were young. If you are inflicting pain, try to calm down before administering, which I know is hard. As you get older, I disciplined you by sending you to your room or writing you an assignment that no one would want to do. Friends, I had this assignment more times than I can count. And I can also tell you, my mom, for whatever reason, of all the things you want to keep stored, she sent me a box of me writing things out like, I will not talk back to my mom, or I will not hit my brother or call him names. Sometimes I'd ask you to write out what you thought your punishment should be to fit the crime. And you are harder on yourself than I would be. Be firm and consistent. Don't just threaten punishment. Count to 3 is a good method. The child knows 1 and 2 are warnings and 3 is the action. Carry through promptly. Otherwise, the child gets confused and will try to get away with more inappropriate behavior. I've noticed some parents try to talk and explain too much to a child who needs stronger discipline. Action does speak louder than words. Try removing the child from the situation or taking away a toy that is causing the problems. Reasoning can be used as the child is older. Children need to learn early that there are unpleasant consequences for inappropriate behavior. Only make promises that you can keep that builds trust. Do not discipline or embarrass your child in front of others, especially their friends. That will only lead to resentment and anger towards you. Take them aside if you want them to listen. Let your child do for themselves what they can. It gives them confidence and responsibility. Your goal is to get them independent. Start when they're young. I was a fan of chore charts and believe children have a responsibility to help around the house, so start early. Smart woman. I also think they should get a weekly allowance according to their age and abilities. With the money they earn, teach them to tithe 10% to the church, save some, and spend some. Once they had a savings, I would charge 25 cents. Oh, this is so fun listening, reading to you guys and reminiscing. This is really true. She would charge us 25 cents for bad words spoken, sass, fights, and, ready for this one? Hearing the words, I'm bored. You know what my mother-in-law taught me and has said to my kids? Only the boring are bored. Oh, this is the best. Then I would use the money to treat myself to a relaxing massage or facial later to restore my fried nerves. I didn't have to get upset with the annoying behavior. I would just put my hand out for the cash. You all knew what that meant. Friends, my mom's brilliant. My mom is brilliant. I don't even do that. I think I'm going to have to start doing the handout. I'm going to start putting my hand out, start getting some massages and facials thanks to my children and their allowance. Apologize when you're wrong. Such vulnerability will endear you to them. That is so true. There are no perfect parents. Even God's children screw up. Instill manners. Please, thank you, excuse me. Write a thank you note or text for gifts and favors. Develop an attitude of gratitude in your kids. One of my favorite and respectful forms of discipline is called logical and natural consequences. This type is not for life-threatening situations, but used more for power struggle problems. For example, if your child insists on not wearing a jacket, you simply say you think he should because he might get cold, and then let him leave without the jacket. Learning the hard way or by experience is sometimes the best way. It helps to know what you can and can't control. Can I get an amen? In summary, children learn best by modeling. Success leaves clues, not by being criticized. Tell them often that you love them. Pray with them. Pray for them. Try to laugh more and not take life too seriously. One day they will leave the nest, go to college, walk down the aisle, and start a family of their own, and you will miss the activity, the laughs, and conversations. I can sit back now and exhale knowing I did the best I could. As I like to remind you, take what was good in your upbringing and leave the rest. Remember, I pray for all of you all the time. Prayer is powerful. It is a blessing to have the time that I do now. It is also a blessing to watch you raise our grandchildren, especially instilling Christ-centered values. More than ever, this world needs God's help to stay on the right course. The evil one is fighting hard to steal, kill, and destroy families. But Jesus tells us not to fear, because he has alone overcome the world, and greater is he that is in us than he that is in the world. I hope you and your kids will benefit from my insights. Know that we are proud of you and proud to call you a good friend. I value our friendship and insights from your perspective now, and I think you also know how really proud I am to be a grandma. Thank you so much for giving me that privilege. Love always, Mom, Nani. Okay. There is so much more goodness in this. I'm not going to read all of it because I get to tell you exactly what it's like to be a daughter raised by a godly woman. And did my mom do everything right? Absolutely not. My mom has a real raw past. If you want to know about it, ask her about it. It's her story to tell. My mom went through some hard things. She had to overcome some extremely hard things. And what I found to be true is that's what makes people who they are today. It's by overcoming the challenges, addictions, hurt, pain. I mean, she spoke about it right there. Her parents never told her that they loved her. They always made it about performance, about how good you were in school and athletics and in the workforce. And it was never like, I just love you because I love you. That's rough, friends. But I know that was a generation. I know that's to be true about so many of my friends' parents. But the coolest thing is you get to change. It's a choice. It's a choice to love on your kids every day. It's a choice to really make them a priority. I'm going to tell you a couple different things about my mom that makes her very memorable. The first thing, my mom laid down her entire life to raise us children. Yes, did she want to do big things? Absolutely. But my father was an extremely successful lawyer and he was gone all the time. And when he was home, he had a briefcase full of work. He bought us second homes. My mom was the one that wrangled all four of us at a lake home in Wisconsin, letting us just be kids. And at times, I'll have to tell you, we did not make really great choices as kids because we were young and dumb, and my mom rolled with it. I don't know that I would roll with it as well as my mom did, but she just trusted us. She just taught us like, hey, I know that I'm raising responsible humans and that you guys will make a responsible decision. I'm not so sure my brothers going 50 in a speedboat and having us jump out of it for fun was really being a responsible human, but I can tell you we had a great time doing it. And when we get together with our cousins too, man, we laugh till we cry over the stories of the things that we did. And meanwhile, my mom was just always smiling and happy, always excited if it was a summer full of Olympics, and just happy to be together. It's like she was the core of family. You know who else loves family? God loves family. God is all about family. It is so important to God. It is so important to God. And my mom exemplified that so well. And she made her life a sacrifice for us, not just when we were young, but when my daughter was born 3 months premature, weighing a whopping 1 pound, 3 ounces, and ended up in the NICU for 105 days, was discharged home with oxygen monitor, heart failure. My mom flew across the country every single month without being asked to help serve my husband and I and take care of our miracle Anna. In fact, my mom slept with Anna. She still would if I allowed her to, but she said, I need to make up for every night that she was left in that hospital. What? My kids now are 15, 11, 9, and 6. They all have an incredible personal relationship with my mom. My mom knows what they love, what they don't like. My mom knows their mannerisms. My mom can buy gifts without even asking what they need. My mom knows my children. Why? She personally has invested in getting to know them and being there for them from the start, just the same way that she did for me and my 3 brothers. Friends, that's priceless. It was not even role modeled to her to be a mom that invests so much in being present with their kids, but she made that decision. She made that choice to always show up no matter what. She used to laugh. She raised all of us to be D1 athletes. That's a lot of sports. A lot of sports. And one of my brothers ended up being a pro golfer as well. So she used to joke that she had the flattest behind because she sat on bleachers for decades upon decades. Not only that, sports moms, she drove us all over and then got on planes, trains, and automobiles for all the travel sports too. But you know what she never did? She never complained. She never complained. She never made us feel bad about it. She was always there cheering. She never yelled at us for bad performance. She was always the one picking us up. We were already hard enough on ourselves, to be honest. And she even said that we would give ourselves worse punishments than she would. But she always just exemplified Jesus to us. She was always long-suffering. She was always humble. She was always meek. She has never raised her voice. I have never to this day, again, I am 46 years old, I've never heard my mom yell. Not one time. Not one time. I wish I could say that about myself. In fact, there's things that I do that my mom's like, honey, I did not raise you this way. I'm like, I know. I repent. Lord, forgive me. We're different. I'm not like my mom. I'm more like my father, which I am grateful for, right? Some of my brothers have more characteristics like my mom does, and some of us have more like my pops do. What a blessing. Both are great. You know what we always used to laugh about? So my mom, after we were all raised, she wanted to become a psychologist. So she went back, put herself through her master's in her 50s. Yeah, you heard me that right. Not in her 20s or 30s, in her 50s, after raising 4 incredible humans, she went back and got her master's. And I remember late nights, early mornings, her studying away. I remember being at her graduation. I don't think I really realized what that was like until now. I'm almost 50 myself and being like, you are a champion. I couldn't even imagine going back and studying something and starting not only to study to graduate, but then she started her own private practice, friends, in her 50s. So for all of you that feel like, you know what, you missed it, you didn't miss a thing. She went on to have an incredible private practice. And I know this to be true to this day because whenever I post about my mom, several clients, past people that she has helped, will always say something so endearing and so incredible about my mom on every post. Because I'll always ask, like, Mom, who are these people? She's like, oh, this is her, this is her, this is... right? Him. My mom did marriage counseling. She worked with high-risk kids, break your heart stories in the inner city of Chicago. Like, I mean, she just created a career in her 50s out of a love for people to serve others because she had done her due diligence with us and now we had flown the coop. Isn't that incredible? Another huge clue that my mom has left me is how well she honored my dad. She has never raised her voice at my dad. They have never, ever fought. When we were younger, they never fought in front of us. She girded up and did the job she had to do. She never resented my dad for working so hard. She never resented him for not being around in times that she probably needed him, right? And she never, ever, ever spoke ill of him in front of us. Not one time. What? I know, friends. It's possible. It's possible. I watched it with my own eyes. Another incredible thing that my mom did well is role modeled health. You know, I used to laugh when my parents weren't huge fans of sleepovers. I don't even let my kids do sleepovers. Thank you, Mom and Dad, for that. But they didn't like sleepovers. And I used to, you know, maybe be a little more smart alecky. Father, thank you for helping me. And I would tell my mom, you know what? No one wants to sleep over here anyway because they don't want alfalfa sprouts. We don't even have sugary cereal. We don't even have, you know, anything that other kids have. No one would want to eat what we eat, right? Isn't that silly? Kids say dumb things. I am so extremely grateful that my mom knew health equals wealth, that she herself role modeled it, and that she didn't have junk food at our house. And she didn't allow us to eat the things that wouldn't allow us to grow into the humans we are. We all had the highest level of athletics, and not one of us was injured to the point where we couldn't perform what we needed to do. Friends, she made sure we had a firm foundation in eating clean before clean was a thing and eating healthy before healthy was a big thing. And it allowed us to hardly ever be sick. I mean, I don't ever remember being really sick ever in my life until I got mono in high school. That was probably on my own fault. Never sick. I was never hospitalized until I had Anna. And that's not because I was a careful child. I flew off a house in Switzerland as a snowboard instructor. I broke a tooth and ended up losing the tooth, but I was never hospitalized. And all the things that we did, all the ski trips we took, all the fun things that we got to do growing up, never injured. But I believe, and to this day, that health was really a building block in my mom. It was so important to her. Not only how we ate, but also that we moved our body. When we would go on family vacations, you knew the Barrises were going to be in the weight room. It was just a thing. You knew that we were going to be working out. You knew that we were going to be skiing and we'd be going down black diamonds and we wouldn't take breaks. We would be out on the hills the entire day. That's just how they raised us. That's what they still do to this day at 78 and 79. They are still working out every single day. They are still walking. My mom is very, 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 very passionate about making sure that she can do all the things she can when she's older because she doesn't want to miss out on that quality of life and realizes that it's a decision every single day. It's a choice to continue to eat well, to continue to move your body. I will be forever grateful. Now I'm going to share a story about being at F45 with my mom a couple of years back. And pull-ups are a thing for me. I don't know about you if pull-ups are easy. For whatever, I need to get better. And I look over at her and we're on the pull-up bar and my mom's about 74 at this time, 74, 75. And I just watch her start cranking out these pull-ups. We both had like one resistance band under us. So it's like a little easier than just like free form. And I'm just watching her just go. And I was like, hold up, wait a minute. I looked at the trainer. I'm like, can you go grab my phone and can you take a video of this? And some of y'all follow me on social media. So you know this video. You've probably seen it. I was like, what? Are you kidding me? And everyone in the gym, because they knew that she was a little bit older and I had shared that my mom was coming, was like, this is goals. Hashtag grandma goals. Look at her go. And literally, you guys, it looked effortless. It looked effortless to see her up there just pumping out these pull-ups. But she was like, It's just the strong foundation I have. It's just the consistency I've always made a priority in my life. And now this is the blessing. This is the reward. When I was popping out all four of my kids recovering from C-sections, I remember being at San Diego Zoo, which if you guys have ever been here, it is world famous. So come. If you haven't been here, make sure you put it on your itinerary. But it is very hilly. It's beautiful and it's hilly. I remember I had Anna and Naomi in a double bob, and I was wearing John in a ergo. And my mom's like, babe, I'm good. I got this for you. And she starts running up the hill. If you guys know where all the bears are, she starts pushing that double bob up the hill where the bears are. That's 9 years ago or 8 years ago. So 71 years young. And I was like, get it, mom. And she's like, oh yeah. She's like, I needed that. You know, it feels good to make yourself stronger. And for me and for my babies to see, and for other people onlookers looking, it was just like, okay, she is role modeling what it looks like to put your health in first position and to make sure you take good care of yourself. Thank you, mom. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You know what's funny? Thinking back to college, I remember this guy's dad saying to me, this is a sidebar, but you got to hear it. He was like, he met my mom, this guy's dad, and he goes, wow, that's what you want to look for. Someone who has a gorgeous mom that's in shape and takes care of herself, because you know the daughter, the apple's not going to fall far from the tree. Take it or leave it, friends. I've heard that more than once. But when you look at a mom that's really taking care of herself, you can probably bet on, if you're a betting person, I don't bet, the daughter's not going to turn out quite different. Because why? More is caught than taught. You know that? More is caught than taught. So if you're role modeling what it is to eat healthy and what it is to move your body and to stay strong, your children are also going to be doing that. And it's proofs in the pudding for my own mom. All my brother just won the old man's hockey league. Not old man. Sorry, brother. I love you. But he's 52 and he just won the Stanley Cup for the hockey league. And actually they're at Wrigley today. Chicago Cubs put it up on the marquee. Congrats to this hockey league that he's in. And I just looked at it and I was like, let's go. He's done Ironmans. All my brothers are still super competitive, playing either beach volleyball, hockey, running, jumping, triathlons. And we're not young anymore. The youngest is 40. I'm 46. The youngest is 43. The oldest, he might be 53, 52. Nonetheless, we're still working out and we're still enjoying our little humans. Guys, that is really because of my mom and my dad for role modeling that. Lastly, one of the most incredible things, and y'all heard it from that chapter, my mom's relationship with the Lord. Her incredible transformation after she lost my brother Francis. Now, another story that I couldn't relate to until I became my mom myself and lost 4 of my own babies. But my brother Francis was born with trisomy 13, and he only lived for a couple hours. In fact, my dad was on a business trip, and my dad didn't even get to meet his son before he passed. And my mom went through a really hard time, as you can imagine, right? Imagine carrying a baby to term, seeing the baby, and the baby doesn't make it. And that's when my mom really turned to the Lord and started reading the scriptures and started believing God that she would have she wanted to be a mom. That's all she wanted to be. She wanted to be a mom when she grew up. And she ended up getting my brother, named him after the Pope, John Paul. And then unknowingly, as John Paul was young and nursing, she conceived me. Funny story. Maybe I'll share that on another podcast. She didn't even tell me that she didn't know she was having me. And that's why we blame all the things on the fact that we really didn't have any prenatal care, because she didn't know she was pregnant with me. And that's why I have an amazing Irish twin, my brother. We call him Jeep to keep. But anyway, back to the faith. My mom really pressed into the things of God to not just she was raised Catholic schools her whole life, but she never read his word. She never understood truly a relationship with Christ until she started reading the word and grabbing hold of it. And that was the biggest thing she wanted to instill in all of us kids. She wanted to know that there is something so much greater in life, and that is God, and understanding that God is always with us. And not only that, a reverence for the things of God. We did not miss church, friends. The other reason we didn't do sleepovers is because we weren't missing church. Nothing came in front of Sundays, our whole family being in the house of God. And not, schleppedly, we were dressed to impress. Not to impress anyone else, but for a reverence of the things of God. We strongly knew that that was the most important thing in our lives, and that everything we had was a blessing from the Lord, and that everything that we were called to do was to bless others with the gifts and talents that he's given us. My parents always made that known. My dad made it known that when we would see homeless people in Chicago, he would say, hey, we're no better off than them. We're to look after these people. We're to look after the least of these. God has blessed us, but he's also blessed us to help others. Such a powerful reminder, especially when you were raised as very privileged, right? To always realize, always take care of these people. God's blessed you to be a blessing, right? To those who much has been given, much is required. So important. But I think the biggest thing that I want to end this episode with is my mom is a praying woman. She starts every single day and ends every single day on her knees. My sister-in-law once said, Nani K must have calluses on her hands and on her knees for how much time she spends in prayer for all of us. My mom is a prayer warrior. She knows how to touch heaven. She knows how to live in the realm of heaven, not being worried or anxious about anything, but by prayer and petition, giving all things to God. She is the first to call for prayer when she needs it and to pray over the kids. She is a Bible-loving, God-fearing woman that I am so honored to be able to call mom, and so privileged that she's still here on this earth to create even more memories with not only myself, but my own kids who are obsessed with her. I've never met a grandma who all 12 kids cannot get enough of. There's not one of her grandchildren that aren't like, it's Nani. Every single one of them, Nani, Nani, Nani. Completely obsessed. That's who I want to be as a grandma. That's what I want to role model to my own kids. And it starts now. So, Mom, I love you. This episode is for you and to all you moms that are looking to raise incredible humans and have incredible relationships lifelong all the way to eternity. You've been tuning in to For His Glory CEO podcast, where unshakable faith meets bold business strategy to equip you for your next level. If this blessed you, please subscribe, leave a review, and share it. And if you're a businesswoman that's looking for the right circle to scale big, we got you. Click the show notes and hear more about our For His Glory CEO community, which is one of a kind, amazing. And remember, we're not just building businesses, we're building the kingdom of God. Until next time.